Hello everyone, I'm Robin from KSI. Today, I am excited to introduce our new project, Land 13 to you. Land 13 is an area that, according to Jennifer Westacott, the chairwoman of the Western Parkland City Authority, which is responsible for developing the Western Sydney Aerotropolis, is once-in-a-generation opportunity. Our investment director Endra Kahlo agrees with that and expanded it further, giving 3 reasons. Firstly, the project is located right in the heart of the Western Sydney Aerotropolis CBD. Purchasing it is like buying a piece of land on George Street in Sydney's CBD before Sydney became this booming metropolis it is today. Secondly, the potential return on investment is high. According to the feasibility study prepared, the estimated return can be between 10 to 30 times for the 10-year investment horizon. For example, an $500,000 investment in Land 13 has the potential to become over $5 million in 10 years. Moreover, if the investment is held for a longer period, 11 plus years, the annual rental return estimated from the completed development can be as high as $500,000. This means that the annual rent could potentially cover the original investment amount. Also, a potential establishment of a real estate investment trust, REIT, and its subsequent listing on the Australian Stock Exchange, ASX, could provide investors with an exit opportunity. Thirdly, there is certainty in terms of the potential of this land, as it has already been rezoned to mixed use by the government, enabling its redevelopment into a commercial property, with maximum building heights are set at 56 metres and the floor space ratio at 2.5 to 1 according to the Western Sydney Aerotropolis Precinct Plan. The uncertainty of the scale of development that can potentially be achieved is low. Now, let me give you a detailed introduction to Land 13. Firstly, let's talk about the location of Land 13. Take a look at this map, Map 1. You all probably know that the area within the solid lines is the map of the core area of the Western Sydney Aerotropolis. The Western Sydney Aerotropolis CBD is located near the southernmost part of area, which is called the Aerotropolis Core. This core area has now been officially named Bradfield City Centre by the government. Let's zoom in a bit, Map 2. This M marks the location of the Western Sydney Aerotropolis Metro train station. In terms of its location and significance to the future, Bradfield City Centre is similar to central stations to the Sydney CBD. This metro station is now being renamed to Bradfield Station. Land 13 is located right here, within 1 kilometre from this main train station of the Aerotropolis. Also, as you can see, Land 13 is less than 1 kilometre away from the CBD of the city centre, which is an excellent geographical and strategic location. Let's take a look at this future transportation route map. Bradfield Station expected to become a transfer and terminal station for 3 future train lines. Location 2, Map 3. Now let's move on to the planning and development progress around Land 13. First, let's look at this red area. All the land in the red area belongs to the Australian government. The government plans to develop this land in partnership with the private sector while retaining ownership. The core of the entire Aerotropolis CBD is here, where the Sydney Metro station is located. A new Innovation Square has been planned by the government, which is located next to the station. Innovation Square will have buildings developed and the metro opened by September 2026 to coincide with the opening of the Western Sydney Airport. Land 13 is located here, 1 kilometre away from Bradfield City Centre Station and only 600 metres away from the planned Bradfield South Railway Station. Looking here, this is expected to be the main campus of the new multi-university, which is about 400 metres away. In the future, whether there will be commercial or residential buildings developed on Land 13, there expected to be strong demand either in the form businesses establishing in the area searching for commercial space or from the university's teachers, staff, and students looking for accommodation. This anticipated to result in strong rental demand. About 1 kilometre from Land 13, next to the university, is the Australian Advanced Manufacturing Research Facility, AMRF, also housing the Bradfield City Visitor Centre. Construction of this facility has already begun and will officially open and commence operation in 2023. That's right, it will open this year. Hitachi Energy Research Centre will be located in the same building. I am now providing a detailed introduction to what expected to be Sydney's third largest CBD, the future layout and buildings of Australia's first 22nd century city. These are not just government plans, but projects the government has already committed to, successfully attracted investment for, and are currently being developed. This CBD and surrounding area anticipated to rise rapidly in front of our eyes in the next few years, like the change of the Northwest Growth Center that began in 2009, starting from Kellyville. Now a decade later, the Northwest Growth Center is highly developed, albeit lacking the level of infrastructure investment and coordinated government involvement we see in and around the Western Sydney Aerotropolis. If you missed the opportunity to invest in the Northwest Growth Center, you definitely don't want to miss this chance to take advantage of this transformational development in southwest of Sydney. According to the Australian government, this is a once-in-a-century opportunity to build a large-scale city. Let's continue by talking about the CSIRO, which is the Commonwealth Scientific and Industrial Research Organisation. This organization is globally renowned, with inventions such as the refrigerator and wireless Wi-Fi. The CSIRO is setting up headquarters in Bradfield City Centre, similarly about 1 kilometre from Land 13. On this red-marked, government-owned land, the following headquarters anticipated to be established: the Australian Space Agency, the Australian Space Research Institute, the Sheffield Institute for Technology Research, Hitachi Research Centre, and a series of other high-tech research and development headquarters. All of these are anticipated to be located within 1 to 2 kilometres of Land 13, some only a few hundred metres away. Other high-tech companies setting up presence in or around the Western Sydney Aerotropolis are Siemens, Northrop Grumman, Amazon, Microsoft, and other world-class Fortune 500 technology companies. Some of these investments have already materialized, and some companies have already purchased land at different locations, ready to follow the development boom of Australia's first 22nd century city. Some tech companies, such as Amazon's largest logistics center in the Southern Hemisphere, are already open, with over 2,000 robots working day and night, assisting with the speedy door-to-door delivery service in Greater Sydney. Let us now take a look at the planned public facilities. This is an indoor sports facility and aquatic center. Other government public facilities include a science center, art gallery, and museum. These anticipated to be next-door neighbours to Land 13. Opposite Land 13, Western Sydney's newest park, Thompsons Creek Regional Park, is being developed. Thompsons Creek Regional Park forms part of the large green belt that runs north to south along the entire Western Sydney Aerotropolis, centering around South Creek, delivering water to the Hawkesbury River in Windsor. Bradfield City Centre is expected to take advantage of water features provided by Thompsons Creek. Along the banks of the creek, over 20 kilometres of cycling and walkways are to be developed. The water and vegetation features will contribute to the NSW government's vision for Western Sydney to be a garden city. Land 13 is ideally located at the southwest end of this beautiful park, which provides further value-enhancing potential to this investment. In summary, the location of Land 13 can be described in one sentence: in the center of the core, a prime location with enormous potential. Now let's turn our attention to the forecasted investment returns of Land 13. The government has zoned the area Land 13 is located in as mixed use with an intention to allow commercial development. The government's objective is to support the development of commercial office buildings, hotels, or other similar commercial premises, serving Bradfield's high-tech businesses, universities, and residential areas. The maximum allowed building height at Land 13 is 56 meters, which translates to approximately 20 stories. According to the Western Sydney Aerotropolis Precinct Plan, the floor and space ratio is 2.5 to 1, with a maximum land use rate of 60%. According to the planning policies, buildings with a gross development area of 30,000 square meters and heights reaching, depending on the design, 4 to 10 stories can be accommodated on the land. Comparing it to similar properties in the Macquarie Technology Park, which the NSW government also refers to as a benchmark for developing Bradfield, the potential return on investment for Land 13 is estimated to be between 10 to 30 times, with a 10-year investment period. We have prepared a feasibility study with projected investment returns and other related material. These are available for you upon request. Finally, let's talk about the investment process. The approach of the Land 13 project is very similar to our previous project Land 10, using a wholesale managed investment fund structure. The fund's assets are held by Australia's largest custodian company. The minimum investment amount starts at $500,000 Australian dollars. If you are interested in the Land 13 project, first you need to sign an expression of interest document and pay a refundable deposit of $5,000 Australian dollars. We will then arrange a meeting with you, provide and explain more details about Land 13 including the legal structure, the forecasted investment returns and take you to see the land if required. At around the first half of 2023, once legal documents for Land 13 are ready, we will proceed with establishing the fund. Investors with valid EOIs enter a queue based on the EOI date and committed investment amount and will be attended to on a first-come first-served basis. Once the total committed investment amount reaches the fund's target fundraising amount, the investors based on their position in the queue will be invited to progress to the next stage. In the next stage, investors will have to sign an application form and pay a deposit of no less than 10% of their committed investment amount, with the remaining balance due within 3 to 6 months. To be determined. Lastly, let's review the planned project timeline for the Land 13. The first phase is the purchase and hold phase, which is expected to run from 2022 to 2024. The second phase is the design and DA application phase, which is anticipated to take place between 2025 and 2027. During the third phase, between 2028 to 2030, the buildings are forecasted to be constructed. Lastly, between 2031 to 2032, the fund is expected to seek an application to be listed on the Australian Securities Exchange (ASX) as a real estate investment trust. If the listing is achieved, investors may be able to liquidate their holdings should they choose to do so. Alternatively, they can continue holding the investment. If they elect to continue, they are expected to receive rental income of the fully completed and leased asset. And $500,000 investment, estimated to have the potential to grow to between $5 million and $6 million. If you continue to hold, the annual rental income distribution can reach $500,000, allowing you to recoup your total investment in 1 year. In conclusion, Land 13 is a land investment opportunity in Australia's first 22nd century city. If you want to invest, please contact us as soon as possible. The available units are very limited, so please sign an EOI form without delay. Thank you, everyone. I'm Robin, and I look forward to meeting you soon.